So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the easiest Team of the Year cards we've ever had to pack. We're going to talk about how the Team of the Year market keeps on dropping. We're going to talk about the content we've got in the last 24 hours and all the investments you guys can make. But before we do get underway in today's video, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily trading subscriber service over on Twitch/Discord. And all you got to do is go and subscribe over on Twitch. You can do this for free with Amazon Prime. If not, it's £5, €5, or $6. In there, you'll gain access to the Discord with daily updated investments between now and February, and the ability to go and send me any trading related questions. Some investments that I've done quite well recently were a bunch of meta centre backs. If I can go and grab the investments right here. So, for example, we've got the likes of Danilo, who we went and recommended here at 55k, and he's up to 65k. We then have the likes of Ake, who we went and recommended, if I can go and grab the Discord, up at 170k, and he's already up to 185. And finally, we've got the likes of Anton, who did very well, who we recommended here at 170k, and he's up to 210k. So some nice rises. A lot of the other special cards you saw briefly, they've either held or they are favourite to keep on rising through the week with all the SBCs. So stuff that isn't favoured to be rising through the week is Team of the Years, Team of the Year icons, Team of the Year honourable mentions, women's, men's, you name it. And especially with the addition yesterday of Team of the Year honourable mentions being, in my opinion, very, very cheap. Especially if we go and compare these to some of the promo cards these guys have had recently. So obviously we got the likes of Frimpong, and if we go and look at Frimpong, he obviously had himself a team of the group stage card. And this card, before the honourable mention came out yesterday, was 280k. Well, he's now coming out with one playstyle. He's obviously a +1. He's got roll pluses coming out the wazoo. He's got a much nicer card, and within the first day, it is only 100k more than the previous promo card was. Which, as a result, means by the end of the week, it'll probably be as cheap, if not cheaper, than what the 90 rated was, despite being significantly better and more, more advanced on the power curve. And we also see this, I mean, maybe not so much with Musiala because he didn't have that expensive of a promo card before that. But obviously, we go and compare these sort of Musialas, and this one's 140k in day one. Obviously, he's got himself tats coming, I guess, so does his base card. Yeah, they're coming in really cheap. I mean, Valverde, his other promo card's like 700k, so maybe he's not that cheap. Haaland, I don't think is coming in too poorly priced. Again, Gansan, this is only day one. I think this card was about 1.1 million. Well, this card is only coming in at 1.8 million, and obviously he's got himself another playstyle. Does he have more desirable playstyles? I guess maybe he's got less desirable playstyles, but obviously he's got more desirable stats to go and have right there. So, yeah, in my opinion, these cards coming in very cheap, and it's still early days. I also like Mianganon. I think this card's going to be a great investment by the end of the week. But let's also have a little talk about how the Team of the Years are doing, because, again, we talked about this in yesterday's video, how Team of the Years are going against the trend, the normal trend. And the normal trend is that they go down a little bit on the Thursday, and then they rebound everything they were on the Friday. And I said, it was Friday morning, I said, these cards are down so much from Thursday, they're going to have to rise so much on the Friday for the market to be Wednesday holding, then down on the Thursday, then back up on the Friday. We just didn't see that. We just saw, again, the cards, if we can go and grab daily, we can see that the cards didn't kind of dip on the Thursday and go up on the Friday. They've just dipped between the Thursday and the Friday. And I mean, even if we look at the Friday average of 2.6 million, these cards are now below that. And the reason this is going, again, the trend of them rising from Thursday happened for FC 24 and FIFA 23. And normally whatever trend you get the year before, it's very rare to not get them again. And we're kind of getting the trends of FIFA 22. And that's where the market kind of dropped till Monday on these team years, but they also didn't really rebound. And I'll be honest with you, I'd actually probably back them dropping till Thursday. They'll either drop till Wednesday evening in the anticipation of Division Rival Awards because of how much Division Rival Awards dropped them last Thursday, or what will happen is they'll go and rebound after Thursday. Now, luckily, I kind of copped onto something yesterday, and unfortunately, I did go and recommend people to go and buy Team of the Years, and then we got screwed over with the pack weight. But people were asking me yesterday, they're going, "Oh, Dan, should I, go and sell these Team of the Years with them going down into the evening?" And I said, "Do you know what? They've already dropped from 1.7. They're down at like 1.6." Said they've kind of already dropped what we saw them drop yesterday, but in the panic selling. So I said to go and hold on to them, and well, we weren't too wrong because what happened is a lot of the Team Years rebounded really nicely. For example, Carvajal went from 1.6. He actually got all the way up to 1.8 million. We go and look at, I don't know if I've got the example, but we look at Paradise. And if we go and look at her yesterday, again, she got panic sold from 880, then down there to 800, and she got close to, if I'm not wrong, close to like 950k. So, you know, what we did see is we saw these cards getting so heavily panic sold, but then rebounding, getting kind of panic bought after 6. The thing is, I didn't think they're going to get panic bought after 6 and rise and rise and rise. They got panic bought after 6, and then the supply eventually caught up. And, you know, we're basically almost back down to the lows. Well, we are back down to the lows of what we saw yesterday, and they're still favoured to keep on dropping. So, again, we can go look at all these cards. You know, we saw a little bit of panic buying on Palmer, but he's back down again. And I do believe that these cards are just going to continue dropping until next Thursday. Because of how easy they are to pack, and yesterday, the first thing we did at 6 PM yesterday was seeing, okay, have they changed the pack weight? Because that's what EA like to do. They like to sometimes mess around with the pack weight, and then cards go from being heavily supplied when packs are open to not being heavily supplied. And the pack weight was the exact same yesterday as it was the day before, so we knew, okay, well, you know, these team leaders are going to go and drop for yet another day. The pack weight was, I think it was like a 300k pack. It was a 3.2 chance of getting a team of the year, and it was still a 3.2 after 6 PM yesterday. We see Mo Salah again. He's not dropping too heavily because he's a bit more expensive, which means he's kind of immune to a bit more panic selling and obviously not being packed as much. But we can still see that this card is dropping every day. We can see Sophia Smith again. We look at the daily. She went from 5 mil, then down to 5.8, and she's down to down for 4.8, and she's down to 4.7 then. We also look at Written. Yeah, she might have rebounded after 6 PM to 2.9, but she's back down to 2.6. Which again puts her down 200k from what she averaged yesterday. And likewise with Paradise, even though she was down at 850 yesterday, she's now down at 810. Now, an interesting trend is, despite all the Team Year men and all the Team Year women were down, the Team Year icons actually rose. Now, this is interesting because obviously the rest of the market dropping, especially with Team Year honorable mentions being quite cheap. It was interesting these cards rose. We saw Miyama go from 490 and she's up to 580. We saw cheap cards like Coman go from 5.5 and he got up to 630, still holding 600. We saw cards like Cantona go from 380 and he's up to about 1.6 mil. But why have these cards gone up? Well, I did a little bit of, looking into it yesterday. And actually, Team Year icons went out of packs on the Friday, but didn't actually get re-released in packs till Sunday. Meaning between now and Sunday, these Team Year icons can, and it seems kind of weird, can potentially keep on rising as no one's packing them, but people are consistently getting coins to go and buy them. Now, would I buy them inflated now? No, I wouldn't. It's just a bit of a, in hindsight, you know, if you have these Team Year icons, I would want to sell them before they go back in packs, because we did see how much these Team Year icons drop when they get an increase in supply, aka how they reacted on the Thursday. So I do think when they are back in packs, they will go back down again. So I do recommend selling. I'd either go and sell this evening, maybe in the peak of people building weekly teams, or maybe Sunday midday. But I'd much prefer this evening. But yeah, they've had really good rises, so congrats if you held on to them. Again, Team Year honourable mentions, very easy to pack. A few of the more expensive cards, obviously you've got Valverde, Messi, Haaland, Wirtz and Rudiger, but I do think they'll come back down again. Also, it's interesting because some of these are already contributing towards, maybe they're not quite contributing yet, but they're going to start getting quite close to SBC fodder price. For example, Gwyn, who at the moment is 27k for an 89 rated, or 89 rated are going for around about 23 to 25. So yeah, interesting that some of these are literally going to come down to SBC fodder. I think we'll talk about SBC fodder in a sec, so we've got a few SBCs. An interesting observation is Doku. Doku absolutely crashed. He went all the way up to 300k and then crashed down to 30. Why did he do that? Why is he not rebounded? Well, that's because he was being used for the right wing Evo, and now he's just an 84 rated in form. So very interesting how you can easily see the shift in demand right here with him being used for an Evo and then not being used for an Evo. Content we got yesterday was Phil Foden. We also went and got ourselves Team of the Year Abali. Yeah, coming in at 1.4 million. Is not looking that desired. He's 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. And with Cole Palmer dropping every day and probably going to eventually get closer to that Foden price, he just doesn't look that good. Now, I did recommend a bunch of link investments to Foden in the Discord. We recommended Dunk at 107. He's up to 126. Recommended Pickford, I believe it would have been at 60, maybe 62. He's up to 66. Recommended Ake at 170. You can see he even got up to 220 yesterday, but he's up to 185 and rising. We can see the Bernardo Silva we recommended at 87. He's up to 94. So the link investments for Foden are rising, but then again, so's the whole of the out of pack market is favoured to continue rising through to next Friday. So it might not have necessarily been Foden that rose him. We didn't exactly see any more panic selling on Cole Palmer's Team of the Year than we would have seen, you know, any other team of the year. So that's also kind of signs that he's not that demanded. What we did go and see a nice rise in was Fodder. We were talking about Fodder a second ago, where you can see the 89s went from 20 and they peaked up there at 21. We see 90s, they went from 36k and they've got all the way up to 40k, even hitting 41k last night. And 90s, these were 53k and they are up to 60k. Why are these cards up? Well, the vast majority of the high-rated fodder is out of packs, and obviously a lot of people would have opened packs yesterday, and because a lot of people would have opened packs yesterday, they've got all those untradables. They're going to use those untradables, probably needing a few high-rateds to carry to go and do the Bale SBC, the Abali SBC, and so on. So we're going to continue seeing fodder rise through to next Friday. I don't see any reason for it to not continue rising till then. Yeah, again, we did also go and get ourselves an Abali. She didn't really seem to do too much regarding, she didn't go and drop too many, I mean, she came in at nil. But she didn't really do too much regarding the market. I think anything that Abali maybe would have done was kind of done with Zidane last Friday, where, you know, I'd say Abali's card definitely favours more of a cam than a centre mid with a 91 shooting, passing and dribbling, whereas her defending and physical being a little bit lower. Although obviously those are amazing, impeccable passing playstyles. So yeah, very, very nice right there. But she could have also been something that contributed towards fodder going up. We only got ourselves 2 Evos yesterday. One was upgrading the physicality. It was quite interesting because it was one of these, it wasn't necessarily directly increasing the physical, it was increasing the individual physical stats, such as like aggression and jumping and so on. And what does that do? That basically means that some players don't actually receive any upgrade whatsoever, because some players might already have their aggression and jumping that high, and it's maybe the other stats that keep them low. And some cards just end up getting a massive upgrade. For example, Traore going from 84 to 93. So some players don't even like, I think it's 90 they're not going to surpass. But yeah, interesting. And that, we also got the other Evo of Start Your Engine. Yeah, it was an all-rounder upgrade, you know. It gave a little bit of pace, a little bit of shooting. I think it gave a little bit of everything apart from defending, and definitely favoured those that have high pace in the first place, which is why we see Delap and Hernandez being some of the most popular. I did initially recommend going for Delap. As soon as I saw this Evo, I thought really favours those that have very high pace, because it only upgraded the pace to 87. So when an Evo only upgrades the pace to a low pace stat, you want someone who's got very high pace in the first place, presuming the caps don't stop that. So yeah, we did recommend Delap. I think it was at like 44, and he didn't really move too much, but Delap will continue rising through the week anyway, because he's, you know, popular hype card. Cards like Jolington, we saw he went yesterday from 48, 53, and he's actually picked up quite nicely with the hype around the Evo. I mean, the Evo, what's it doing? It's giving him +5 pace, plus no dribbling, plus giving +5 passing, +1 dribbling, no defending, and no physicality. So yeah, I mean, it's been an all-round boost. Nothing too insane with Zidane, Abali, and all these other Evos we've had. Another Evo for Hernandez, but definitely doesn't favour the other one. I don't think it also works in. Wait. Yeah, so basically this one gives passing and dribbling, whereas the other one gives defending. I don't think you can use it in combination of that one as well, with them both being an 89 Evo in the end of the day. There's the Delap again. Delap just receives a passing and dribbling boost, but obviously, you know, some of his lower stats would have been nice if he gave a bit of a shooting boost, but it seems like that caps out at 84. Yeah, so we recommend him at 44. It's the same sort of price really, but we do think he can rise through the week. And like I said, it was an all-rounder boost. We did see a nice little bit of demand here for Essien. Going into the Evo, he was 80k, 81k, and he's now picked up there to 91k. Looking at some of the stuff that's risen the most and dropped the most, it's mainly coming down to players who are used for that right wing Evo. So Palmer obviously got to 110, but he's crashed because he's not being able to be used for the Evo. Doku obviously was being used for the Evo. Saar was being used for the Evo, and Nana was being used for the Evo. Why these people would never have sold the card when they're extinct for the Evo, God knows. Frimpong's obviously down a fair bit because of his honourable mention not being too expensive. Again, just a bunch of right wings being used for the Evo. Also, we're seeing Team of the Years creeping here in some of the biggest drops, but again, that's no surprise. They're going to continue, in my opinion, dropping all the way through to Thursday, if not all the way through to Monday. And what players are up the most at the moment? Well, again, it seems a little bit all over the shop. Maybe some of the players who went and fit yesterday's Evo. Again, the likes of Jolington in there. A lot of centre-backs up. David Shelley's up a little bit as well, probably after being panic sold for people not doing the Evo, but I don't think there's too much correlation in what's up. I think it's just a bit of everything. We've got some Team of the Year icons in there, but yeah, not too much correlation in what is up other than that. The other content we got yesterday was a bunch of upgrade SBCs, double 86, I think the Defenders were repeatable again, double 85s were repeatable again, but yeah, nothing too insane. And it's interesting because I've been scouting the leaks and there's not really too much more leaked. Obviously, we know we're going to get ourselves a Gokarez objective, a Bandit objective, and the other SBCs. And a Hurricane SBC, I think that might be it. But yeah, so we know there's a bunch of SBCs, a few objectives on the way. Why we didn't get the objectives on Friday, God knows. Probably end up seeing them come on the Sunday, maybe with the icon being added, or maybe on the Monday. They're kind of popular days for, or at least Monday is a popular day for EA dropping content. But yeah, that's about that. As I say, out of pack specials, I think will continue to rise. Yesterday didn't really do too much to the market. I think the main thing we take away from yesterday was that EA did not change the pack weight, and because they did not change the pack weight, they seem to be fully content on these Team of the Years crashing. So, you know, presume you don't have Team of the Years, happy days. And if you want to buy Team of the Years, well, it just means they'll be a lot cheaper by the end of the week. But that's going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.